know, the real question is not who killed Danny, but what the hell happened to my hair? This is the first recording that I've done with my... I mean, there's going to be, of course, other reaction videos where the short hair is, but in my recording perspective, this is the first one, so, yeah. What happened to my hair? I don't know. Hello everyone, it's Liam Catterson here, and we're going to be on episode number 5 of Broadchurch Season 1, and it's coming into the second half. Things are looking really, really juicy. We assume whoever did kill Danny is, having a little quake in their boots, setting the boat on fire, with help, of course, because it wasn't a one-man operation, of course. It's said to be 2. But whoever's doing it might have a little quake in... Oh, well, they ought to be having a little quake in their boots because we're in the second half of Season 1. So, if you can hear vibrations, it's the phone. I don't know, it's just lighting up because I've got the little light up here. It helps better, doesn't it? Does it? Yeah. It definitely helps a lot for me in terms of the lighting. So, yeah, if you hear vibrations, you know what. Shut up, phone. But yes, Jack is under a lot of suspicion considering his past, of course, and he had a picture of Danny, so, yeah, shady past coming back to haunt Jack. Well, haunt Jack, I don't know. He seems a bit pleading to try and get, I don't know, detached himself from this situation. Probably because he didn't do it, but he's doing a lot more other shady stuff, maybe, perhaps. Seems it, maybe. Alec also, he's a very poorly boy, isn't he? Poor Alec. Because he cracked his head open because he's poorly. Not nice. But yes, let's get on with episode 5 because I've really, really bloody enjoyed this season. And I've really, really enjoyed the writing, the acting, everything about Broadchurch. It's really, really opening my eyes, and I don't know, it makes me realise why a lot of people say, oh, I loved Broadchurch. I do too, so far. So let's get on with Broadchurch. Seems a bit adamant on doing it, which ballsy stuff. Oh, I don't know what's going through their heads, actually. They used to drop that bombshell, but they happen to win. Oh. I ain't saying anything.
Egotistical, self-centered bastard.
Yeah.
2 children.
Go, Beth, go.
2
Gotta think of the
children.
kids.
15 years of collecting all of everyone's shit and washing it and cleaning it and folding it and tidying it and going back to the start like I'm on a bloody wheel.
Tell him, Beth. Tell him.
I've had offers too, you know.
Sure you have.
I could have shagged my way around your mates at the King's Arms for a start.
I'm sure.
But I didn't.
She's got more balls than you, mate. I don't know.
She doesn't talk to me about it. Looking
2 phones, so that is a bit suspicious.
Danny knew the person who killed him.
I don't know.
What about the phone? The one Mr. Marshall had?
Psst.
Did they find anything on it?
I'm sure Mum will tell us anything we need to know. We have to let her do her job.
How long would someone get sent to prison for if they killed someone?
I don't know, 20 years or something? Why are you asking?
I just wondered. I miss him, Dad.
You just want to assume, like, what will happen to you if you are the one that killed him. I don't think it's the kid. I don't think it's Tom. At this point, I'm just saying, it's nobody.
You did well. You'll make someone a lovely apprentice. Shall we send?
Really?
Well, they're waiting.
No.
Send.
Well. Oh, okay.
Sorry. I've wanted to do that ever since you walked in.
Cheeky bastard, we're working here.
No, sorry, yeah. I'm sorry, it was inappropriate.
Yeah, it was.
Punch him one. Ah, but she liked it, for crying out loud. But you can never know.
We all have our foibles.
Reverend.
Oh, I'm up.
See, the thing is, they are just causing more suspicion and more, like, angst with the public by printing that article. I mean, I get that, his past is one to, steer clear of, but it's adding insult to injury.
Slept in.
It's our booty.
You are.
This isn't what we wrote.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's not
everyone.
there.
They boycotted shop. Nobody's
Chloe, off the phone now.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Bye.
So they didn't wrote that version.
Where's
Oh,
Mum?
shh. Okay.
Beth,
Uh-oh.
expect to see you.
Uh-oh.
Do you want a drink?
Oh, shh.
Christ's sake! All right, that's enough. That's enough. I'm doing your window.
Beth!
Come near my family again, and I'll break your fucking face.
Oh!
Understood.
Oh my
kiss from Mary.
god!
Do you know what she did?
Yeah, I'm getting the gist.
Holy shit! Holy shit! I'm on Team Beth. I'm on Team Beth. I'm sorry, but that was freaking epic. Just smash all the glass, and then that threat at the end. Done.
Put his arm on our shoulder. I was like, no thanks, mate. No hugs for me. Didn't like me after that. Kept
Jack,
asking
you
what was
son
wrong
of a
with me.
bitch. Don't pressure.
Why are you looking at me like
Don't.
that?
Because, yeah, she's like... Uh-oh, I need to see you ASAP. Is this to Karen? I ain't good. Don't think Daddy he's just gonna... Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's just gonna walk on by like...
I can't just take your
Can't
word
be
for it.
dealing with this shit.
You have to accept that.
Why? Why should I accept this? What did I do wrong? Why am I being punished?
I don't know. I don't know. I wish I did.
I'm sorry, I'm just loving Jodie's performance in this episode. Like, I mean, I've been enjoying it throughout, but
Everybody always
Jodie
wants
is
something to kiss and do
absolutely
their
nailing the
And just getting
emotion.
a petition. Get chucked out the Sea Brigade.
And it doesn't hurt to see a bit of 13 with Rory. Where's Amy? I'm driving away from that, okay? But no, honestly, Jodie is just
You don't know when
blowing me away.
I'm Susan. Right then, come on. Have a get. Good boy. Good boy.
This is bad news for her to invite him to walk the dog. She's still got the skateboard. He is gonna be like, bad news, Susan. Bad idea. It'll be bad news for you when everything gets out. Uh-oh. Now everyone knows.
No boys involved. A girl. I'm sure you can fill in the gaps.
You had sex with a pupil.
And that's why he was
You made the
convicted.
first move.
It was a mutual attraction.
And you had sex how many times?
You think I put notches on my bedpost?
500. Is that
Same
what I'm
amount
worth?
as Danny.
It's all I could get. You see that van? I got a crossbow in that van. I ain't messing about.
We need to find a way of working
What the
this
hell
out
is...
together.
Surely them two have something to do with Danny. What is his game? Because surely he's got a hand. I don't know, but something's going down.
Dad, I know you're dying too.
Fine. Are you having sex with him?
Yes. And we used
Uh-oh.
condoms, which is more than you and Mum did.
I'm not
Uh-oh.
Got
And
you out of a police cell because I saw how you and
He's-
Becca Fisher were looking at each other.
he's
You wanna
gonna
talk
be,
about that too? You flirted in front of my eyes whilst I was doing shifts at the traders, and
I was gonna say he's gonna be bad. Won't he be in bad juju anyway if he's having sex with a 15-year-old?
Jack Marshall, I got a call from one of the other dads. They're rounding up a posse to get him.
Oh no.
Same age as Beth when you met her. Mark. We
Lot of
married.
connections.
We had a son together. Yeah, where's he now then, eh? Why ain't they with you now?
Maybe he doesn't want to know him.
He died. Age 6. Car accident.
Oh, there's
This is
parallels. Well, ish.
The grief ripped us apart, so I came here. Fresh start. They're saying I wanted to hug the boys because I'm a paedophile. It was never that. I missed my boy.
And that's
I
why.
Touching
Oh
him.
man.
Holding him.
And that's why he.
I miss
with
my
the
boy
whole
every day.
boy situation. Oh my god. that's why he was getting huggy
What
with
sort
it.
of world is this, Mark, where it's wrong for a man to seek affection?
It wasn't because of paedophilia, it was
I would
because...
never harm Danny. We're the same, Mark.
Shit. I think Mark's words have to be taken into consideration. Because this is what he's going to be getting every day, probably. Because some people are dickheads. I mean, what he did with the girl was wrong, but...
A mistake was made. A big mistake.
Are you?
I don't want to talk about it.
No, is that right to feel concerned?
So these are my friends, people I've known all my life. I can't let them down.
We won't.
He's got a duty to be better. I mean, you even heard with that doctor, he could quit, but this is his penance. He's putting his foot down.
Would you... Do you want to relax a bit with me here? Tonight?
God, no. No, I mean, it's not what I mean.
Sorry.
It's not that I wouldn't.
No, of course. It's just...
I'd be worried.
She's being she's being cautious.
On me.
Right. Thanks.
He's just like, oh, okay, cool.
I'm really sorry about the misunderstanding.
But I shiv it. Doesn't want to be the whole his child situation and the fact he's seeing his former lover. Yeah. Oh shit! He's killed himself, hasn't he? Oh. Oh, fuck. So, man, I think that was the same location as well, where Danny died at as well. Damn, there was a lot of parallels in this episode. Not gonna lie, there was a lot of, you know, connections to past events that, you know, presented itself in this episode, which I really, really dug, because it was like, ooh, nice little connection. It's all so similar. Not for the right reasons, though. It was not for the happiest reasons or all that jazz. It was mainly sad. Especially since it was centered around Jack. I'm not sure why Jack... I mean, I guess it's because of the grief, like, you know, remembering something tragic that obviously, you know, leaves a huge hole in your heart, because that's what he was trying to fill with the kid scandal going around. But, I mean, yeah, I just wish he did tell, because then, you know, this could have been cleared up a lot easier. And, damn journalists. Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, like, I know it does look dodgy, so you can't really blame them for, you know, assuming that he did have a history without getting the full facts there, even though he was completely innocent about the whole boy scandal. I mean, still, the underage sex thing is a bit off, of course. I mean, he could have waited it out, but the point still stands about them just jumping to conclusions and whatnot. But it's not just that, though. I believe that, yeah, they altered the article. Karen's firm altered the article and made it even more damning. So, journalists. At least they're depicting journalists pretty well. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, it did look pretty damning. With, you know, with what he had with the pictures of the boys and that. Because, you know, some person might look at that and they'll be like, why? So, yeah, I mean, you can't really blame them, but also, I guess it's just one of those cases where a lot of people are going to feel like they need to get their facts straight before they do jump to any more conclusions, because, you know, this town might be getting into the phase where they believe that they are, you know, cause, I mean, you even hear it, like, you're not, like, when they're bitching about the the detectives, you're not really getting much done. Like Danny's killer's still out there. You're not really getting much done. And it's going to, like, there might be that pressing thought where it's going to be like, okay, well, the people are basically assuming that they're better detectives, especially, with the whole Jack situation and, thinking that he did do those things and just jumping to that conclusion without getting the full detail, and the whole desperation to find the killer, and lamenting the detectives for not finding the killer ASAP when there's nothing much to go by. Well, there is a lot to go by, but it's all a matter of time, isn't it? And I just worry there's going to be this feeling that people are just. I don't know. They are overestimating themselves in terms of judging, and it's going to create a lot of problems like it did for Jack. That's why he killed himself. I believe he did kill himself because, the pressure did get to him. I mean, it was the same location. I'm sure it was the same location Danny died at. I mean, obviously it was at the beach, but I'm saying about the spot, of course. And, I mean, everything going against him was just too much for him, even though Mark, had that warning that, proved it would have been useful. But all the stuff, the headlines, the people vandalizing his stuff, everyone now just even if everything was cleared, people would still not come to this shop because people just have this, and this is a real thing. People will still, settle themselves into this judgment that is proven false. They still believe that judgment is, they basically tread with caution. So, as soon as the firm, printed, that damning thing about, Jack, it wasn't looking good for him. And, you do have that sense of sorrow for him, especially the fact that he was just trying to fill, that missing void. And like I said, going back to the parallels, it's so freaking eerie because I believe Chloe said, first, Jack lost his son, which is the same position that Mark's in. Jack was in a relationship with someone underage, which I believe Chloe did say Mark was with Beth when that's why she sees no problem being with that person who is 17 and she's 15. I believe that's the case because so was Beth, so was Mark. I believe that was said. So it's literally standing in their shoes, and that's the thing. Mark was looking at a mirror image of it. Well, maybe not so much. Maybe he wouldn't go as far as, having a suspicious, future, a future that has everyone looking at him like, oh no, with the whole pictures stuff and, the boys incident that Jack was under. Maybe he wouldn't go that far, but it was a mirror image of it might have been because, they broke it off, Jack and, the person he got with. They broke it off and it wasn't looking that well for Beth and Mark, and so they rekindled. Maybe he was like, oh no, this is he basically had an epiphany there. It's like, oh god, I need to patch things up and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he was pretty damning there with his whole cheating stuff, but he doesn't want to be in Jack's shoes, in a similar position to Jack. So there was a nice little parallel bit going on. So I really liked that. It was a really, really nice touch. It wasn't for the happiest of reasons, like I said, because I do feel so bad for Jack because he had all of this shit through something he was innocent over. The images of the boys, yeah, it is a bit suspicious no matter, what way, what direction you go in. But you can't help but feel so bad for him because of, how he felt, defeated, felt that he had this hole in his heart because of his boy's death. And it all goes to Danny, of course, another parallel. No, I've already said that, but still, it goes there, and you just feel a bit bad for him. And he couldn't, with everything against him, with Broadchurch against him, with how dark. I believe it's funny. I think this town was a lot happier, like just in the first moments, and then everything about Danny's death, it suddenly showed the dark side of Broadchurch. Especially with the fact that they've got to live with the fact that, their aggression kind of led Jack to kill himself. I'm using that term because it looks like he couldn't handle it. It was like he was being buried with all this weight and there was only way out of it, because some people will, do that. So, unless it was one of the people in the mob. I'm not sure if they heard Jack's confession as well, because if so, then they are bloody idiots. That's why I'm wondering, because they still, after Jack said everything to Mark, they still, try to claw at him and all that shit. And, yeah, I mean, if so, then, they just need a good punch in the face. But if they didn't, then it might be a bit understandable. But, I mean, the full picture needs to be out there, and then maybe most of them will have that bit of remorse. Not all of them, because some people will still try and find some excuse to, validate their reason to being aggressive to Jack. So, most of them might have this heavy burden that they might have gotten Jack killed. I mean, some people might still see it as dodgy stuff with what he did with the under 16-year-old. Like, some people will think, might be so invested in, I don't know, they might be so pure about the whole, you have to be over 18 to consent, or whatever it is. Yeah, they might be so, I don't know, clutching on to that purity, and, they might think that, Jack's still a piece of shit, whether he did or not, so. But I do hope, in episode 6, we do see the repercussions of the town, cause there was an angry mob, of course, and I'd love to see that kind of repercussion, to see how, they do react, so, yeah. But yeah, it was a really, really great episode. I just love the failed attempt by Alec and Becca, of course, Becca's shifty anyways, but, yeah. But it was just so, I don't know, fun. I'm really loving seeing the little fun sides from Alec, even though he's a bit of a serious character, of course. Yeah. I'm wondering, with Tom, I think he's called Tom, isn't he? Ellie's kid. With Tom being invited to Susan's, place to take the dog out and all that shit, he will find that skateboard. And even more suspicion will arise, of course. Cause it was the skateboard on the phone, and everyone was still questioning why Jack had the phone in, with him at the first place. The skateboard's the next piece, and Susan might be in a bit of shit for that. But we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. I mean, she's landed herself in a bit of a trap there, but I don't think she has any idea about, how much shit she could be in once, the skateboard's in. I don't know. She is a bit of a shifty character. I'm wondering what her goal is with Nige as well, because there is something, ominous between them two. I'm wondering if Nige has because he presented her, there was that £500 I think it was for her to get out, which is the same amount that Danny had. So I'm wondering, I'm sure, I'm not sure, but there has to be a connection there. Specific numbering. What else? Jodie's performance was just stellar in this episode. She's doing a really, really good job being the grieving parent, but she was absolutely on fire when she was going freaking badass, against Becca. I mean, understandable reaction, but I was just, she was just awesome. I've been loving Jodie, of course, I've been keeping an extra eye on her with Doctor Who coming up, but I've been loving Jodie, in this show ever since, her first moments. But that was a real standout in this episode. It was definitely juicy. What else was I wanting to talk about? I mean, just basically the whole stuff with Jack was pretty sad, like I said, but I think that was it really, because all I know is that the whole stuff with Jack was pretty sad stuff, and yeah, that was basically it. There was other points, of course, that I mentioned with the whole Jodie situation, but yeah, that was really it, because Jack was a main focus point with the whole mystery of, regarding, you know, what he did, like the potential of him doing, you know, heinous stuff to little children, of course, but of course that was all cleared up, and like I said, there was some really nice parallels in this episode, so it was really good, and I just loved. I don't think they gave a specific gender, because I think he just like it was like a revelation that, you know, the reason why he was convicted, like it was basically a revelation, like so I don't think they gave a specific gender in the last episode either, so I think that was really good. It had you really guessing, and then in this episode, so man. But whether he had a hand, I don't think he did. I still stand by that, but I mean, it's one less name for, you know, the detectives to cross off, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, he could still do it, but I mean, I guess with the whole hate, I mean, they could come to the conclusion that the whole hatred angle that was thrown against him, and then him, you know, killing himself would just be pretty too much. They wouldn't see him as someone capable of murder, and of course they could cross off all, you know, connections to Danny's death with Jack, so and it would be pretty shitty for Beth as well, cause, like, if Jack were to be the killer, because there would be no justice, because Jack dead, so. But no, this was a really great episode, powerful stuff, really nice parallels in this episode. I just really loved it. Great acting, and yeah, I'm really enjoying Broadchurch. It's getting really interesting. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right. If you want to check out more of my content, you can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!